Hello PPL fans, and welcome one and all to the very final Heat of the Week. But it's not just Heat of the Week. This, for the entirety of the main season, is Heat of the Season. My name is Shroomraver, he's OnesieBanette, and we have been collating the votes. There have been votes in the server, the analysts have voted, the fans, you at home, have voted. And Alex, it is time, is it not?
It absolutely is time to find out what you guys have decided is the heat of the season. There was a lot of incredible heat this season, some really cool stuff, and we've been documenting it throughout the season, as Dave, my friend over here, has mentioned, but it is only time for us to talk about some of the best that has happened this season. And before we even get into that, it's very important that we recognise all of the Heat of the Week winners, because you all won your respective weeks for a reason. You brought heat that was better than the rest. So this is the list that you guys have been voting from. Starting us off, our first week Heat of the Week winner was, of course, Q the Costa Rican with that Mirror Herb Hisuian Lilligant. This was the benchmark for the season of how the Heat was going to go. Switching in on a Rever Room, stealing the boost from it, and then proceeding to reverse sweep Ellie's team. A very, very strong start off to the Heat, I would say.
Yes, absolutely, and it has to be said, Q was not done, because then we stopped over in week 2 where Q maintained his grip on the crown versus Mounte's Immunity Idols, bringing that relic song Electric Terra Meloetta to resist the opponent's Killer Watch Roll and nearly, I get it right this time, get the clean up at the end. It was an unfortunate loss for him, but he nearly managed to get that win. And it was a fantastic bring, it was unexpected, and it did what we needed it to do to take Heat of the Week, week 2.
Absolutely, it was a very, very clever bring, and as you mentioned, it did really kind of cement his grip on the crown of Heat of the Week, but it wasn't going to last forever, because he was not able to make it a hat-trick, as in week 3 we saw a very clever piece of tech brought by JV with a Chilan Berry Greninja in order to take a hit from a Choice Banded Dragonite against the Master Mr. Pokeaim MD, which secured Jay's first win and basically dethroned Q as King of Heat of the Week. So yes, 3 very strong weeks so far, dominated by 2 coaches. But was that going to last, Mr. Shroomraver?
It was not, because week 4, having taken the loss and that in as well to the winner of Heat of the Week, Joey decided to step things up a notch. And that was the infamous game, one of the most hyped games, Joey's LA Wakers versus MV San Diego Chim Chargers. And there is where we saw the triple final Gambit squad. Annihilape's final Gambit, Samurott and Delphox following up with the copycat to give Joey possibly the first ever 11 KO game.
Pretty
and that
crazy.
Was a heck of an entry.
Absolutely, one hell of a way of announcing yourself as a Heat of the Week contender here. As you mentioned, probably the world's first ever 11-0 in a serious competitive game, which not only do we have a Heat of the Week, we have a potential record breaker as well. But yes, seeing these first 4 weeks of Heat of the Week, we managed to rile up one of these coaches, and we took a little bit of flack from them, as they were like, "Grr, I did not win Heat of the Week," and she had been threatening a win for a good while, but in week 5 it finally came to fruition, and Addison's Fire Spin Binding Band Arcanine versus Drewby and the New York Marauders was able to secure the win in Heat of the Week. A very clever set which isolated the opponent's main defensive counter to Addison, removed it from the fray, and allowed the rest of Addison's team to go crazy. Very clever, and finally gave Addison the win that she craved in this series.
Yes, indeed. And then we moved into week 6, where, with maybe some unexpected people winning Heat of the Week, 2 of the biggest meme lords going, both stepped up and said, you know what, we want in. And that was where we had our first joint victory, that being Ellie's Shanghai Dragons, with the fantastic Trick Ring Target Hooper Unbound, being able to take out Nexus's Overquill with a normally immune move in Psychic. And of course, the infamous Mephisto the Nice Jinx taking on Joey and deciding anything you can do, I can try and do better. And not only that, I'm going to make him change the rules of the league.
Something that we referred to as the Mephisto Incident.
The Mephisto Incident, his team of 5, including a Fisher Don fan that took 3 KOs. Really just throwing the league into disarray, as I'm sure Mephisto wanted to do from the start.
That's definitely his intention, and following that week, we did have a series of horse heads showing up in my bed, so I think I may have annoyed the Mafia a little bit with that one. But yes, then we move on to week 7, and week 7 was what we like to define as the lost episode, the heat of the week where both myself and Shroomraver were not feeling very well and the episode did not actually get uploaded. It does exist. I think Addison's probably going to be planning to upload it because she did actually take the win this week with an eject pack Tatsugiri that was able to use Draco Meteor and position itself to basically land its Addison with some good game momentum. It worked really well and helped to secure the victory in that week. But yes, the lost winner was Addison, putting her at 2 wins for the season.
That is correct. And going into the final week of the main season, week 8, Mephisto took a look at who'd won Heat of the Week, saw there were a few 2-time winners, and said, you know what? I want to be a 2-time winner as well. So here's Whirlpool Resto Chesto Iron Bundle, going up against Mounte's Immunity Idols, to take out the very thing that Mounte had brought to counter Iron Bundle. The definition of Heat. We loved it. And so there it was. And there it was indeed. Our 8, 9, because of the week 6 draw, our 9 winners of Heat of the Week. And big thank you to Shuckle King, I believe it was, who put together the voting document. And analysts and fans alike have been voting for days now on who they wanted to win Heat of the Week. And we can finally reveal that we have our top 3. Yes, and coming in at number 3, with 6.2% of the total votes, it is Addison London Shockwave versus Drew's New York Marauders, that week 5 bring of Substitute, Binding Band, Firespin, Outrage, Arcanine. Very deserving of its position in its top 3. Intended to take on Torkoal, again out behind a sub, and then Revenger Walking Weight coming in. It actually didn't do that, but it did take out Clodsire very early game, which, as she said, yes, that is enough for Heat of the Week.
It absolutely was enough for Heat of the Week. She'd spent 4 weeks building up to this moment, calling us out in her videos, arguing with us behind the scenes, and basically forcing pressure for us to eventually cave and grant Addison Heat of the Week. But it was an absolutely deserved Heat of the Week that week. A very spectacular bring that did a massive amount of work in the game and was a huge factor in helping her take home the dub. So yes, for that, Addison, of the main season of PPL, this particular piece of heat that you brought was number 3, and congratulations to you for that accomplishment.
Yeah, absolutely very well deserved, and I'm still hoping to see the sloth pot when there's a cactus in it, Addison. I'm genuinely very interested to see. As a former collector of cacti, or cactuses, whatever, I want to see it. But, with that said, we will move on to our number 2, with a very respectable and powerful 17.7% of the total votes. From week 6, it is Mephisto and the Nice Jinx versus Pokeaim and the LA Wakers, and it is the Mephisto Incident. It had to be done. The man brought a team of 5 to a competitive game and made us change the rules, with Fisher Donphan claiming 3 KOs, Double Team Pikachu doing absolutely nothing, but it was fun anyway. But that Fisher Donphan really, it shook everything up, you know? The Mafia announced its intentions in a big way, and yeah, really shook things up in a very, very powerful game against a powerful opponent. Didn't end up taking the win, but it was an excellent bring, and it deserved its position. Controversial, but deserved.
Yeah, controversial is one way to put it. I know during the week that we decided to do the whole joint winner thing, there were a few comments saying that there shouldn't ever have been a split, but I feel like this was one of those weeks where there was so much heat and there were so many different things that we wanted to really properly acknowledge that the actual winner of that week probably deserved to have the spotlight shared. I don't regret that decision, and I think for me, this incident is on a whole different level. It's on a whole different level in terms of the impact it had, and it was a very, very fun bring. Trying to be kind because I don't want the mafia on my back again. But yes,
no one wants that.
Nobody at all. But yes, it was a very fun bring, and it made for some amazing content. So I think that if any coach was going to do that this season, it was going to be Mephisto, and this definitely deserves to be in heat of the season. Absolutely deserved winner. So congratulations, Mephisto. You are our number 2 pick for heat of the season. But there can only be one winner, can't there?
Yes, there can. And I think a lot of people would probably have seen this one coming. Because coming in at number 1 with a staggering 64.6% of the total votes, it had to be Week 4, Joey Pokey-Aim and the LA Wakers versus MV's San Diego Chim Chargers, the Sacrifice Team. Because what more needs to be said? This man went in with a plan. He executed that plan flawlessly. Sash Heatran lead to get up rocks, take itself out with Steel Beam. Screens Lunar Dance Cresselia to take itself out. Triple Final Gambit. Annihilate Scarfed Final Gambit. Samurott Scarfed Copycat. Delphox Scarfed Copycat. Takes out the threats, puts all his chips on Quick Draw Slowbro with the Quick Claw, and it worked out. Slowbro cleans up, and in possibly the first ever time where a Draft League coach gets all 11 KOs in a 1-0 victory, it had to be.
Absolutely had to be. I think that I speak for everyone, fans of the PPL, coaches, fans of Draft League in general, where I say this is one of the most iconic moments in Draft League history.
Yeah.
The whole history of the format, this is one of those moments that is going to go down as, hey, do you remember when Joey did that in PPL? It's one of those games that you're just going to be remembering for quite a while, and it absolutely deserves to be our number 1 pick here. There was a whole game plan, there was a gambling element, it was tense right from the word go, and there's the whole rivalry aspect between Joey and MV, which adds so much drama and so much tension to this strategy that when it came off, you couldn't not just smile and think, oh my god, that's amazing. Joey was hyping this up behind the scenes in the results channel for quite a while, and I was absolutely delighted to actually watch this game. I was so excited for it, and even though people are saying, this is being hyped up, and even Joey himself came into the fan Discord and said, I am winning Heat of the Week this season before the video went up, I think he did not let anybody down. So for that, Joey, congratulations. You are our winner of Heat of the Season.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Many hyped games that came across, not for the reasons we expected them, but they will all certainly be remembered, and it bears repeating. Big congratulations to all our Heat of the Week winners, and of course to everyone who we mentioned in the videos. All of our coaches have brought some kind of heat at some point or another. Everyone has been putting a massive amount of effort in. It takes a lot to put together a Heat set while still taking it as seriously as they have to try and get those wins. So massive kudos to all of our coaches for the amount of effort you have put in helping us make these Heat of the Week and now Heat of the Season videos. It has been a pleasure to watch and see the things you guys and girls have brought, and we can only hope for more, potentially, coming up in the playoffs. Of course,
absolutely.
Playoff games and results and stuff will be happening in the not too distant future, so please do be sure to keep your eyes peeled and keep on following those results to see which of our esteemed coaches will be going all the way this season of the Pokemon Premier League. But I think that is about going to wrap it up from this particular ceremony. Thank you all so much for joining us. It has been a pleasure to bring you these Heat of the Week videos, and we will be keeping our eyes on the upcoming matches to see what transpires. It's going to be a crazy playoff, isn't it?
It's going to absolutely be crazy. We have some crazy matchups. We have some really good rivalries that are forming, and some of the matchups look absolutely ridiculous. The games are going to be very close, and you need to keep a close eye on them because they are not going to let you down.
Absolutely not. But that is going to be it from us. We are going to get out of here. So thank you all once again to everyone for watching, and with that, we will see you next time. Laters.